Back again with another video. Summer is upon us, at least today. Rainy, drizzly, humid. Gonna be really hot this upcoming week. Thankfully, we won't be out in the heat working a job for a whole lot longer. We will be somewhat, but we will be sweating it out this week. Been doing this for many years. Working a job, that is, not making videos, as you can tell. If anybody will even listen to this. Been a lot happening in the world, at least the world that I live in. A lot of rage, anger, frustration over little things. Trying to do a little bit less of that today, at least. Wondering, will I ever grow up? I don't know, it's doubtful, but it's still possible. The fans are blowing in the house. There's no air conditioning in this home. One that I bought a couple years ago. It lasted for exactly about 1 year and then conked out. Another old one, a window unit I have. Still works, but it's not worth the trouble to put in, and because it doesn't cool that well anymore. So fans are just as good as long as the air is moving around. You can tolerate the heat. I grew up with no air conditioning. We never had it when I was growing up as a kid. And we did just fine. I think we had maybe one big metal box fan. I think the air conditioning makes you soft and fat because when you're in the heat all the time, you're not tending to overeat or wanting to eat a bunch of rich foods. Just eating light and drinking plenty of fluids to stay hydrated. That's all that really you want when you're overheated. Plus, you don't want to start throwing up if you eat a bunch of ice cream or something like that. But we shall see. Maybe I'll break down and have a central air unit installed. Nah, I doubt it. It gets plenty hot here and can stay hot. Last year it was really hot up into the end of September. And then it cooled down some. And then, of course, we had a very snowy winter. And now, after a spring that's been pretty wet and rainy, we've had some really nice weather the last couple of weeks. Almost felt like fall weather. cool at night, warm in the day, breezy, not real humid. But now the temperatures are rising. It's been drizzly rain all day. And it's going to be hot and steamy this next week. And that's the weather report for this video. And now the report on the upcoming retirement, on the upcoming what are you going to do with the rest of your life. It's really more about what I'm not going to be doing. I'm not going to be clocking into a job anymore. I'm not going to be asking, what should I do today? What's your plan for me today, boss? Is it going to be some pain in the ass, stupid job that doesn't really need to be done, but it's just there to keep you busy? Could very well be. And I keep telling myself, well, I'll do the chores around the house when I'm retired, when I've got more time and I'm not feeling drained from a job that I would rather not be doing. But I don't think I've watched some videos lately, or saw one anyway, that was talking about how we say we're going to do this, that, and the other at some future date, but not right now. And I'm a good one for saying that, for deciding that there's something I need to do, but not right now. Wait till I have more energy. Wait till the weather's better. Wait until circumstances are just the way I want them. And most people, if they're being honest, know that that's all just bullshit excuses to procrastinate, to put off, and avoid doing what we really don't want to do. It applies to me anyway. Maybe it doesn't apply to others. It's not my job to worry about that either. That's one thing in the world that I think if more people would just mind their own business, take care of themselves, and do what they need to do or not do, and stop worrying about what other people should be doing, this would be a better society, a better world, a better place to exist, not live because, at least in my case, I don't think I've lived much of a life. I've done this, that, and the other. I've worked a few jobs, been in a few failed relationships, gone through periods where I've had fairly large circle of friends, and gone from that to the semi-hermit lifestyle that I live today. But as the time goes by and you age, And then people start lecturing you on you better do stuff now while you can. Maybe I don't want to do things now. Maybe I feel like I've done enough. Or I haven't. Or maybe I will. Sure, there's lots of things you can do. But I do know this. My body, after years of physical labor and work, probably working out improperly at times, I've got a back that does not like to stand for extended periods of time. I can walk and things like that, but and it's not terrible pain, but it's enough of a pain and enough of a fatigue that I know that I just can't do things the way I used to. And anyone who's getting older will tell you that. But we shall see what's around the corner. I have a feeling that I will probably be okay for some time to come, unless, of course, I'm not, which is kind of goes without saying, kind of obvious. But I see people who look to me to be way less healthy than me, who are still chugging along and doing a lot of the stuff that they used to do. Maybe not as much or as long, but they're still doing it. But we shall see what the future holds. We never know what's around the corner. Ever. Yeah, we have a pretty good idea, and we have the ability to predict and to assess things and see what will probably happen, but we never ever knew for sure, although we think we do. But we still move along, even if it doesn't seem like we're moving. I think in today's world, slowing down and not doing as much is better. I feel it is for me anyway. Of course, we need the movers and the shakers. We need the people who are highly motivated. And we also need the people who maybe don't want to do as much. Maybe they're cut out for something different, but the world doesn't have a place for them. Just now, anyway. But perhaps it will. Or perhaps if there's a continuation of consciousness, of the conscious I that's sitting here monotone talking at this video, we don't know really. Well, this I, this identity that I've spent so many years crafting and developing and rehearsing, does it just dissolve into nothingness? Or does it take another form and it has no memories, maybe? Or maybe it has a few that come up every now and then. but it's something completely different. Or it's nothing. Why is there something rather than nothing? The big question. We don't know. We like to assign all this stuff to mystery, to God. And when things go badly, we blame it on the devil, or perhaps bad luck, bad juju, or good fortune, whatever the case may be. And then we move on to the next thing. The next thing we obsess about. The next thing that we try and figure out. We can never know for sure anything. That's the moral of this story. I find myself at times making up stories to tell myself about why I shouldn't do things or why I should, and then end up doing nothing. But nothing, is that really even possible? We always seem to be doing something. If we're just sitting, that's something. If we're just sitting and breathing and staring and zoning out, those are all states of being. Those are all things, maybe not tangible necessarily, but they're things that we do, just like walking or talking or making another incoherent, nonsensical video. But it's a fun life anyway. It can be if we make it that way. So with that, we'll start winding down here as I'm talking over the video that I made, and it's timed, so I'll be stopping talking here in a few more minutes when certain things pop up on the screen that tells me that my time is up. And I'll just leave it at that. But today we have whatever time we have the rest of today and tomorrow and the next day. It might be fun times or challenging times or a waste of time. But time isn't wasted. We are wasted by time, as far as I know. No one can tell whether or not we're wasting it. I wonder, why did everything turn out the way it did? Why not some other way? Why not a totally different life, a different attitude, a different set of circumstances? And maybe in a parallel universe, things are different for me. Maybe there's another me out there or alongside this one. Maybe he's making a video that will get 100,000 views while I'm in this loser universe where it gets maybe one or two besides mine, and then sit there coping with, I don't care, I'm just doing this for fun, which is true, but it's still, is it a waste of time if I just do these and nobody watches them? Or am I building for something, towards something great? We shall see. I want to try to get away from this self referential stuff, this, I don't know what you would call it, but boring. Yes, these last couple minutes have been boring to me. Maybe they're exciting to somebody else, though. Probably not, but who could think that, I guess. We never know what people will respond to when we put it out there. And of course, as we know, the AI, the algorithm, or whatever you want to call this stuff, determines a lot of things anyway. So don't make it about you. Blame the algorithm, blame the AI. Don't blame it on your shitty videos. And on that note, we will end with our usual have a nice day.